the BPA, King of Bowling, and we thank you for joining us again. I'm David Newrath. This is Jennifer Kleekamp. And our third compatriot is on special assignment, Tom Brenneman, but he'll be back next week. Jen, our matches here should prove to be interesting. We've got some high scores kicking in. What do we got?
Well, we have Duane Hatton, who had a fine 746 series. We also have the kid back again, Brian Himmler, who's averaging about 250 so far this year on the show.
With an open frame. Not a bad average at all. We'll be right back in just a few minutes to get things started here on the BPA, King of TV Bowling.
Greater Cincinnati BPA 14K King of Bowling. Brought to you by 14K, Cincinnati's legendary premium beer. 14K, the one, the only, the original.
Greater Cincinnati Bowling Proprietors Association and 14K, proud to bring you the King of Bowling show once again. And thank you for tuning us in, because you are the ones that have made us #1 in Cincinnati.
And here we are in Amelia at Holly Lanes. Glenn Schmidt, the fine BPA owner here. And of course Wayne Piles, who does a great job of managing out here.
Lanes 9 and 10 is where the competition will take place today. And we've got a couple of contrasting styles. We've got a smooth roller in Duane, and then we've got the maximum crank, hit, release, pull, devastating ball, Brian Himmler. Reminiscent of the first time he was on the show, Jen. A couple of first shots, a little stiff, but
no doubt about the fact he straightens it out.
Once he loosens up.
Close to 250.
Yeah, that's right. 250 for the show so far this year. Cutting through the head pin there, leaving the 3-6. You want to cover both of these with the ball, ideally, and take a little bit off the shot going across lane.
Of course, Brian is only 15 years old, and we do affectionately call him the kid. Brian is an excellent spare shooter. Considering the revolutions that he gets on the ball, and his age factor is just tremendous the way he shoots spares.
There's not too much wrong with his game, Jen. He does a lot of things right. And if anything he needs more of, and that might be bowling more tournaments and picking up a little more lane savvy, so he can make those adjustments a little quicker. But from a technique standpoint, his game is sound.
Brian, of course, has participated in the professional bowling camp. And he says since he's been there, it really has helped his game greatly. And of course, in a few weeks, we will be showing you the junior bowlers who will win a scholarship, one of the young men or women, to go to these camps, which is just really a great opportunity.
That's about an $800 school, I'm told. There you're looking at the pin that he left, wobbling.
Of course, Brian goes to Anderson High School.
Yeah, too bad Tommy isn't here. Covers it easily going cross lane. Brian Himmler opens the show with 2 spares.
You can be sure all of his Anderson High School sophomore student bodies watching him today. I'm sure they're very proud of Brian.
I wonder if he's had any offers in the last couple of weeks from the ladies out in that area. What do you think, Jen?
I don't know. It's a little dough in his pocket.
Yeah, now that he's rolling in dough, you never know. He's not a good enough looking guy without it, but there's a lot of power on this pitch.
Sure is.
Power it is, and Duane really did not get the maximum advantage. Watch it here on the replay. The ball's going to cut through sharply. He throws a great shot, playing right around that 13th board. Very little swing, but super roll. Watch it here. Just totally drive right through, leaving the 9-pin on what could have been a devastating strike.
He really throws a powerful ball. That good forward roll. Throws it nice and hard. And of course that is reflective of why he left that 9-pin.
Really? Well, we've got some stuff coming up again. We'd like to urge all of you to get your entries in. You send it to the same address that you do the golden ball. And that's for some Rhino bowling balls that we're going to be giving away on the youth program, and then also the ladies. So if you want to get registered for a shot at a free bowling ball, a Rhino ball, supplied by the 4 pro shops that sponsor the show and Brunswick, send them cards in to Summit, and we'll get you listed there as we watch Duane go wide and leave the very difficult to bring back 2 8 10, Jen. It's one of your
Yeah.
favorites, I'm sure.
Dangers of that big, wide, sweeping hook coming in behind the head pin. Head pin goes to the left. Doesn't get the 2 or the 8, and of course the 10 stands.
Picks up the 2 and the 8. Reasonable thing to do when pin count may be a factor. Duane not happy with his performance there, but he'll be back online again, I'm sure. But Brian Himmler, you don't want to open up against this guy. Look out. There you go, the light mixer. The twister will obviously carry that hit more so than a down and in flare, but Brian Himmler is just too awesome sometimes with that ball. Be eager to watch him grow up around this area. Hopefully he doesn't move away. So all of you at home can watch him grow up too on the lanes.
And I'd like to note that backed by popular demand, Walt Sweeney's brought back that $20,000 Thunderbird. Of course, we won't give away this game, but we're going to be looking on to the next. Super shot by Brian.
Oh, he liked it. Watch the reaction on this too. The ball is going to absolutely destroy the pocket. It's going to be a little tight, but that big power takes the head pin straight back. 2 pin goes to the wall, carries out the 4. Does he like it? Sure he does. Duane Hatton on the right lane, lane 10, is going to have to find his target and get lined up and stay there because Brian Himmler could take it out. Great shot there, Jen.
I think this match is going to go right down to the 10th frame. I don't know about you, but they both look pretty lined up.
You're right. It comes down to carry. And in all the weeks that we've been doing the telecast, and as good as our numbers have been, it seems like the person that can get a break, a key break, and carry those marginal shots as we look at the score sheet. Right now, you're looking at about a 23-pin advantage for Brian Himmler. 23 pins up this early in the match for that awesome a ball. It's going to be tough to overcome unless he continues to strike.
Almost left it again.
It looks like he's throwing the ball a little harder on the left lane for some reason. Maybe he thinks that left lane is hooking a little bit more, and he needs to get the speed control down consistently, guys and girls at home. You want to go for consistency. No matter what you do, you want to do it every time the same way, and that way you can make adjustments.
No problem with the spare. Do I understand we're going to have a St. Patty's Day parade later on this afternoon?
You betcha. So stay tuned on the station that brings you sports in Cincinnati. Also brings you parades. We're going to be down there, Jen, you and I think, huh?
Yeah.
Waving to you from the limo, and we're not allowed to throw out bowling balls this year, I'm told, because of last year's thing. But Brian Himmler comes up on the shot early, cuts
no
right
parade for him.
No parade here, but he's still going to maintain the lead.
Absolutely.
Bad pin count on a double, though. 5 count does not help. The 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. You shoot cross lane for the 3, and hopefully one of them will bounce out of the ditch.
If anybody could do it with a powerful ball, I guess it'd probably be Brian.
Yes.
He'll opt for 3, and of course on a strike, he's glad he did get 3 because that'll actually count 6.
So he's looking at the score sheet, figuring things up. And as we look at the score sheet and figure it up also, he still carries through a 4-pin lead. There you see it. Even with a strike, Duane is going to be 4 pins down. There you go. That's the ball. The churning action of the big release. Let's watch it here. Just absolutely straps the ball, rips the bottom out of it. 1-3 pocket is annihilated. 10 in the pit. Every pin doing its job, Jen.
Perfect.
Brian is rolling.
There's Lee Sabatelli of Durban Bowl, also East Bowl. I understand you made a visit down there. Some buddies of yours in Batesville, huh?
Yeah, I tell you what, those boys at East Bowl know how to get down, let's say. Billy and Bob down there and the rest of you crazy people, it was sure good fun coming to Batesville. Next time I'll bring my equipment down, we can roll a few. As we promote all of you to do, get out to your local BPA Fun Center and let the good times roll.
Take your kids, take grandma, take everybody.
That's right. Pile them into the car and go. going high, right straight through the heart, but covering the 3, 6, 9, 10 exactly as it's supposed to be made, Jen.
He's just doing some excellent spare shooting.
8 pins. He is down. Brian has the strike working. Potentially it could be 18 pins, but as long as you keep it around that 8-pin area, you've got a chance to win. Now let's see if Duane, who has gone light the last 2 frames on lane number 9, let's see what adjustment he makes here. Yep. A little more direct. Instead of going hard and swinging the ball, he went hard and threw it straight up at him. Let's pick it up here. This ball will not go outside of the 8th board. And it's further, there you are, 8th board, and then it makes the roll back, annihilates the pocket. Powerful striking ball. Duane Hatton, left lane, is still in the match.
Almost leaving the 2-8-10.
Yep. Footing, just completely lost his footing that time, Jen. It looks like he got to the line ahead of the ball, reared up, tried to get something on the ball, but when you're standing straight up at the line, it's just impossible to put that turn and that hook and revolution on the ball.
Looking at Brian Himmler's mom and dad right behind him, looking on Kathy and Brad, and I'm sure they're very proud of Brian.
Got a lot to be proud of.
Look out.
Not happy about that.
Nor should he be.
Exactly. Now, Duane is kind of licking his chops back there. He knows that it's time to get back in this match. Brian Himmler opens the door for him. And he is playing again. There you see it. 102 to 109. That's 7, but the open frame could easily jump up there to the double-digit leads for Duane. Have you ever seen a player? Oh, have you ever seen a player just so totally maxed out at the foul line?
Never,
Jen?
never. John Gant may be the closest thing I've ever seen to Brian.
John Gant, maybe a Mark Roth, you know, just somebody that explodes at the point of release with every ounce of energy he has.
Pete Weber's
right
another
one, that's right.
But they're not 15 either. It's just phenomenal.
Exactly. Duane Hatton, right lane, could really put the hammer on Brian Himmler with a strike here. Big shot in the 8th frame. He knows he can put it on him. Let's watch it here on the replay. He trusts this ball, but he also he himself imparts a little bruising to those finger grips. Just smashes. That's the head pin going to the left wall. Does a whirly bird into the 7. Takes out the 4 and the 7. Duane's in the driver's seat right now, and if he continues to strike, he'll bring home a winner. Getting his thoughts together here a little bit.
Duane, who's 21 years old. He's a telecommunicator in Cincinnati. And he's a striker, too.
He's got a move of his own right there. I tell you what, I thought he'd be pretty calm and collected, but he actually started moving this one out. There you go. He straps it, does he? Yeah, he catches all of it right around the 8th board. Now watch the move. Ball's filled up the pocket. He loves it, and he ran it out. Brian Himmler in a critical frame with a strike working in the 8th frame. Just misses with that big, powerful ball, not striking. And he says, I don't know what I have to do. The machine, he knocked the pin far enough off spot that the machine knocked the pin down, Jen. So we're going to have a slight delay here as we get our pin back in place.
We're looking the area of 30 pins advantage with frames running out for Brian Himmler. No question about it.
As we're down for just a few minutes, though, we can take a minute to thank you for Terry Flynn from the Inquirer for reinstating our City All-Star team.
Writes that great section extra in the Inquirer sports part of it.
Yeah,
I read that every week, Terry. It's a good art. You write good articles, and we're really happy to see bowling back in the newspaper.
Right. We invite you down to one of our shows too, Terry. If you'd like to come down and give the folks a little behind-the-scenes kind of stuff. Of course, you got to get up a little early, but that's okay. Ohio Festival's also coming up, Jen. We're going to be competing in that, I believe.
That's right. It's an inaugural sport, and you can qualify in your local divisions. And there's Walt Sweeney, who's brought us that $20,000 Thunderbird. West Hills Ford on Glenway Avenue.
Well, does a good job. Well, the guy in the back must not have heard him. Oh, he wanted to 4-pin. He put up the 6. Must have thought it was a left-hander up.
There's Jerry Bettinghouse from Pin House in Eastgate, and all those fine betting house establishments. Of course, they have a St. Patty's Day tournament out there at Pin House, I do believe.
Well, that's okay. We'll go give it a try.
And here at Holly Lanes, they have a KFP tournament coming up, singles, doubles, and team, and that'll start on March 5th, and it'll run through the 19th, and you can come and join that on Saturdays and Sundays.
Let's see if the delay had any effect on Brian. Oh, he didn't waste any time. He jumps it there and knocks her down, but there for a minute it looked like it was going to stay wide. Brian Himmler only has one thing that he can do here, and that's strike out in the 10th frame, and if he does so, he'll be in the 190s. But already his competition, Duane Hatton, all he'll have to do is mark in the 10th frame. Brian Himmler needs a strike here and in the 11th frame for any chance to win. Yeah, that party's over.
Sometimes they just don't want to fall when you really need them.
Yep.
Back to that KFP tournament. It is a handicap tournament for men and women, and KFP stands for King of Fiffius.
Oh, well, sure.
I didn't think I was going to try that one.
I knew that. 50th?
They also have a great Scotch doubles tournament here. It's a 9-pin no tap. Men and women bowl together. And this runs once a month, and you can call out here at Holly Lanes and get information from Wayne Piles, who does a great job out here at Holly Lanes.
Just trying to get off the lanes. Brian Himmler gets a round of applause, but he's not happy with his performance here today. Duane Hatton will go on to meet the next challenger in game number 2.
Will be Nick Vogelgesang, who we saw last week had qualified with 770. Well, this week from Holly Lanes, he had a 780.
780. Shake it off. We are just being treated week after week to some marvelous bowling in the qualifiers as well as on the show.
Brian Himmler won the early bird squad prize this week on Saturday. Got $50 for coming out here early in the morning. He shot 706 on that shift.
Duane with 9 or better will be in the 200 area against Brian Himmler's 174, and again, not representative of Brian's talents, that's for sure. But when things go bad, we watched it last week for Kerry Logan, things really have a tendency to fall through, and Duane Hatton will go on to match number 2. And stay tuned, don't go away. We've got our Golden Ball contest coming up. Welcome once again. This is the Golden Ball contest, sponsored this week by the Ball Shop. Kathy Broxman is going to draw our home contestant viewer while I explain a few of the rules to you. This is a progressive jackpot, and this week it's worth $800. Now, should the contestant come out of the audience, throw a strike, that money will be split with the home viewer. And if not, we're going to throw in some free game passes and a T-shirt. Kathy, who we've got playing at home this week?
We have a Mandy Sigmund.
Okay, Mandy, congratulations. Hope you do well. In our
we have a repeater today. Her name is Donna Edelman. She bowled at the Crossgate. Donna,
come on down. One of our regular viewers coming down to watch the show. Pick a ball there, Donna, on the left lane. Good luck. Last week, if you remember, we almost broke the jackpot, Kathy. We had a nice ball and an 8 count. Let's see how close we can get today. Really lining this one up. Uh-oh. Oh, all right. Thank you anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to participate in the PPA Golden Ball Contest, just send those cards in to the BPA Golden Ball Contest, 1821 Summit Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45237. Welcome back to BPA King of Bowling. We're going to go into match number 2. Duane Hatton earned the right to face Nick Vogelgesang, a gentleman who is no stranger to big numbers, Jen.
You got it. 780 this week. He had to qualify to make it to our show.
And I believe later on we've got a presentation for Nick.
That's right.
Put another
Yeah.
diamond in his 300 ring for
You
shooting
got
the
it.
number again.
Super Bowling.
Oh, he's fabulous. I think he's got like 5 300s, and 4 of those have been rolled in BPA events. There we go. That's the way to open a match. One crusher to another.
And of course, with all those 300s he has racked up, Walt Sweeney will be looking on with great intent. And Nick, this would be the time to do it, buddy.
Well, Duane Hatton is in line. So is Nick Vogelgesang. Let's give a car away to somebody.
Oh, that'd be so exciting.
You bet.
Yeah.
Throwing with more authority than we've watched in past weeks. Nick looks good. Let's watch it here on the replay. He's going to trust the ball, absolutely straps it, goes out to about the 5th board, first arrow, and fills the pocket up. Every pin doing its job there, no doubt about it. Nick's happy with a double to open the match.
He's looking confident, and he's in there.
Yeah. That's just his normal look, I think.
Now, did he switch balls,
A
or
ball
is this my
change
imagination?
is in order. Now a ball change is in order, and Duane is going to play with all he has right now, and the new ball seems to react a little better for him. And we watched the same thing last week as David Callery made a ball change when Kerry Logan opened a couple of frames in a row and allowed him to go with the ball that reacted a little different, goes further down the lane, and that's exactly what Duane's done. Perfect for 2. Let's see if he can make it 3. You bet he can. I'll tell you what, Jen, this guy's a player. Let's watch it here on the replay. He just absolutely straps this ball. Goes straight down about the 11th board with a lot of speed and a lot of power and fills the pocket up big time.
Look out. Wow.
6 deliveries, 6 strikes. I like it.
That'll evoke a smile from Walt Sweeney. He really wants to give away this car.
Nick's motioning.
He really does.
Yeah. And we'd love to be there, too. Nick was motioning that he didn't quite get out of that ball correctly, but...
I thought it looked like he got a little bit too much side roll or something.
Exactly. He got on top of the ball, Jen. Now, this is a better shot here.
Oh,
bad break on the 10 pin. I thought the messenger was going to get there. Take a look at it here if we can. The ball's going to go wide, but then it's going to make a good move back. Now, why isn't the 10 pin going to go down? Second one from the right-hand side of your screen. There you see it going to the channel, and instead of the neck coming out and getting the 10, it just lays there. Cross lane for the spare. Our crowd's pumped up today. That's good. Gives Walt a little friendly slap on the hand there. Says, well, hold on to those keys. I'm not out of here yet.
And if you'd like an opportunity to be on this show, you're going to have to go out and qualify. And today it's going on at Hyde's Lanes in White Oak, and you can call there to make a reservation to bowl.
There you go. Duane Hatton's throwing a ball as well as anyone we've seen so far. That ball comes up high and cuts through and leaves a devastating 6, 7, 10 split. It says here on his sheet that this is his first year of trying to qualify in the King. Never been on the telecast before. So I tell you what, this is a commendable showing. That's the first really bad shot he's thrown.
Really?
Cross lane, going to try that 6 in. No, I'll make it, Jen. Go ahead.
He averages 204, and the highest game he's ever had is 290, and he bowls over at Bowl Lounge. He started bowling when he was 6, and now he's 21, and he's really developing a great game. And we're having technical difficulties.
Well, Duane just looks at them and scares them down. They start to fall. Saying here he bowls 4 times a week. Now, there's an avid bowler. Telecommunications here on his sheet. Does that mean he's going to come after my job soon? Is that...
You got it.
Oh, boy.
From your car phone.
Here we go again. I hope he keeps on bowling well, so leaves my job alone. There we go again with that combination 210. Going a little wide, ball not finishing. Left that 8-10 combination before. It's just the 210 now. It's a little easier to make. There you're looking at it. Going to have to slide the 2-pin, the one to the left side of your screen, over into the 10. It's kind of a bank shot. Let's watch. It's close, so didn't quite roll off. It was a good attempt. Both players opening, and this is an open for us to take a commercial break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Our crowd, good again this year on St. Patty's Day. Keep your sets on Channel 5. I believe it's 4 o'clock the parade will be aired. Nick Vogelgesang is going to air a few things out.
Yeah.
From the commercial break, he comes back with a vengeance. I think he heard that I credited him with one open before we went to the break, and it didn't settle real well with him, so he just wanted to prove that was not mine.
And of course, with Duane with 2 opens, you can be sure he don't want any part of that.
Amen. So we're locked into a pretty nice match here. Nick Vogelgesang has jumped into the lead. So can extend that lead with another strike here. Boy, good authority. Wow. Stay down. You want to see a shot that's perfect? This man does it. Watch him stay down at the line and just zip through this ball and follow through. This ball has got more on it than anything can handle. The pin's got no choice but to get out of the way.
Awesome.
That was awesome, John. You're right.
His only miss so far has been in the 4th frame, and that wasn't even a miss. It was a 10-pin, and he made it.
Duane experiencing some of the mental letdown that we've seen experienced as well as non-experienced players have, Jen, and that's as soon as your opponent gets into a comfortable lead, looks like they really start to press.
This is a very mental game. You really just have to play your game, you against the pins, and not really worry about what anybody else does. But it's very hard when you're hearing crushers in the background from Nick Vogelgesang when you know they had to all fall.
Got that right. Duane's got here one other thing on his sheet we failed to mention. He finished in the top 32 in the Hoinky Super Classic and won cashed a ticket for $1,700, and that's not easy to do. That's a tournament that runs over at Western Bowl through the was it Thanksgiving Day?
That's right.
Session. Yeah, it's a nice
Thanksgiving weekend.
Duane Hatton just comes right back and shows us that yeah, I can bowl, no doubt about that. But Nick Vogelgesang's dishing out as much punishment as anybody could take at this point. He's looking good, Jim.
Yes.
Oh, again.
Good, clean, crisp roll.
Yeah. He's looking good.
He hits it in the pocket. They all 10 fall back. He hits it light. They fly left to right.
Yep.
What more could you ask for?
That's a 6-inch pocket. I'd love to have one of those.
No doubt. No doubt. Tim George was up there again this week. He finished 7th. Enrique Kalfas, Bill Heflin.
That ball is just sawing pins in half, Jen.
And I think he's playing to the crowd a little.
Amen.
He's liking it.
Watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to see power? Not just Brian Himmler's got it. This man's got it. Head pin goes to the left wall. Doesn't even have time to knock anything down. It is out of there. As you can see, Nick Vogelgesang throws 4 in a row at Duane Hatton. And as we look at it, he has a 45-pin deficit to make up. And the only way you can do that is like that. Isn't it amazing the way this stuff falls together sometimes?
Yeah.
Duane Hatton, the left lane, is the lane that's been giving him more trouble than the right lane, and he's got to strike here. This is a crucial situation. 9th frame, you're 45 pins down. The only thing you can do is strike to have any chance whatsoever, and you're on your troublesome lane. Let's see what he does. Yep.
Super.
What do? You throw 10 pins in the pit and then come back and sit down and hope your opponent makes a mistake.
I'd like to mention that Julie Pruitt, a very, very fine lady, won $200 this week by shooting a .640 and was the top woman of the week. Julie, congratulations.
You bet.
And of course, that will qualify her for the year-end finals, which you'll be seeing here in a few weeks, in which the women will bowl for $500.
Yep.
And you'll get to see 2 weeks of that, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
And let me tell you, we got some tough women bowlers in the city. The competition every year is just growing vastly.
Well, I wish all the contestants a lot of luck. You're going to be in that too, Jen, so we wish you a lot of luck. We're going to, our buddy Tom Brenneman's, I believe, going to be out of town that week, so maybe we'll get Lonesome George to sit in and do the show with us.
Be happy to have him.
Nick left lane. Would like to strike out to maintain the momentum for next match. Crowd's getting a little crazy here. Another tray of hooties, please.
247 if you can spare up and strike.
And if Duane goes all the way out, he can finish with a nice 234 game, but that's all she wrote. The party's over in this game. Nick Vogelgesang will go on to meet our king, David Callery.
We have a lot of BPA members here today. We have Jerry Benninghouse, and we have Lee Sabatelli and Gary Rolfus, and of course Sammy Coleman's always here helping us out with our stats, and Wayne Piles, and of course Glenn Schmitz, who owns Holidays. Next, we're going to see, once again, Dave Callery, who's averaging in the area of 235 this year on the show. First week he became king, of course. He had like a 750 series, came up the step ladder, and has remained on top ever since.
Just throwing a lot of well-schooled shots, Jen, not the big ball that a lot of these kids are throwing out there. I mean, it's nice to see pins move around. And that big, powerful ball, it's fun to watch. Oops.
I think he was trying something new there.
Yeah, just playing around since it's over. But experience and a good, clean roll like Dave Callery has, hopefully that never, ever goes out of style. And there you go, the handshake. Nick Vogelgesang will go on to meet David Callery in the last game. 247 earns him that right. We'll be back in just a moment. We are back for the championship match. King of Bowling here on WLW, the sports station in Cincinnati. Nick Vogelgesang, left lane, opens the match with the ball going a little wide. He's motioning that he didn't quite catch it all, leaving the 2-8. Not the first time we've seen this one today.
Of course, our king, Dave Callery, will be going for week number 5, I understand.
Yeah, he's doing a phenomenal job.
Averaging in the area of 236, something like that.
Look out. Well, there's a new way to make it.
Darn near fit it between.
Almost. This is not the textbook way to make it, but it's effective. You try to hit the 2-pin a little more straight on and let the ball go through, but this ball, just no deflection here whatsoever. It's going to get both pins out, even though the angle was all wrong. You're just looking for results, right?
Dave Callery, of course, last week won the kingship with about a 250-something game. He was tough. Whoa.
Tough on that shot, going right straight through the nose, but getting a great break and leaving only the 10-pin. Jen, he motioned with his hand. He made a bad shot, flipped the ball over, and pulled it up into the nose.
Qualifying next week is going on at Stumps Lanes on Saturday and Sunday, starting at 9 a.m. on Saturday and 10:30 on Sunday. For men and women, both days with shifts every hour and a half.
Come on out. Stumps has done a remarkable job at remodeling, as has Holly Lanes. It's a nice looking little place. I'm
sure
telling you,
is. I'm impressed.
Yeah, 16 lanes. It's kind of a unique setup. They've got 4 and then a wall dividing part of it, and then the other 12 on this side. It's
Majority's done in beautiful stonework, and
yeah.
it's really an interesting place. And they have great cheeseburgers. So come on out. If you don't want a bowl, at least catch one of them.
Cheeseburger. Oh, there you go. We were talking about this before we came back when Dave Callery was throwing his warm-ups, and for as much as the ball is deflecting after it enters the 1-3, we were remarking about how well he carried the 10 out. That time it did not carry. 2 frames, back-to-back 10 pins. 38 years old, David Callery, assistant controller. Married to Pam. They been married for several years. They bowl in a mixed couples league at Kingpin. David's averaging 210, and he's had 10 perfect 300 games.
There's something different for Nick to shoot at.
Yep. Nick not zeroed in as we saw him in game number 2, throwing the ball with the authority that he did then.
You think after that 280, made a little bit over adjusting, perhaps?
Well,
just a bad shot.
It's hard to figure. We went away for commercial break. We had some technical difficulties, and he may have gotten a little stiff during that time. But once he loosens up, he'll be right back in it. 27 in the second frame. David Callery with a strike will have 39. So technically about a 12-pin lead right now. But that's nothing for the big bowlers.
Nick's married to Lori, who's a LPN at the Care Unit Hospital.
That's a better shot. Oh, not getting the desired results at all. Leaving a weak 10. His followers rooting him on to make sure he carries the 10-pin out on the second shot. 220 he's averaging, huh?
Down at Durban Bowl. Nice little house down there, Durban. Haven't been there in a while, but I'll make sure to get on out there.
I'll tell you what, we're in Holly Lanes today in Amelia. I tell you what, that's a triptych, a full tank of gas, and some sandwiches to get there from here.
Got it.
Whew.
Well worth the drive, though. Well worth it.
You bet. But well within our viewing area of Channel 5. Signal gets all the way out there to Batesville, as well as north into the Troy area, I'm told. So welcome all of you who are tuning in today. Tommy Brenneman will be back with us next week. And Dave Callery zeroed in on the right-hand lane all of a sudden. More accomplishments for David Callery, 1977 City Match Game champion, 1982 Team ABC champion, 82 Hoinky Team champion, scratch and handicap, Hoinky Team Scratch champion, 1988, and on and on and on.
All in all, he's a good team player, too, and that's evident on Tuesday night. He bowls at Western Bowl, and their team is just forever winning that league, and it is a strong league.
Extremely
Great
strong.
team players.
David Callery, left lane with a strike working. Would like to build on his lead.
Super.
He's filling every frame, and this is how he's doing it. Going right straight up about the 10th, 9th board, and then just letting the ball roll off gingerly. A little deflection here, but the angle's right. Takes the 10 straight out. Nick Vogelgesang's got to get the big ball working, and that was the one. That's the one he wants to amp it up and just go for it. Nick is not going to roll over and play dead, that's for sure, but he's got some pins to make up. He's 22 pins down as we see him now. His job is to keep throwing X's up there and see what happens.
Nick practices 40 to 60 games a week. That greatly accounts for his sharpness.
I tell you what, he throws a great ball here and just pays a penalty for it with a blowout 7. Now the 5-pin in the middle of your screen, second one back is the one that's going to lay down on this one. Look at it. Right there, it's going to go behind the 7. Now that his job was to take the 7-pin out of the picture. Not so.
Every pin not doing its job.
That's right, especially one of them, that's for sure.
That was a penalty.
It's a good shot and a good chance to really get back in the match, and just didn't pan out for him. Dave Callery on the right lane now will try to take advantage of his shot. There you see it. David Callery can start to run away and hide if he continues to strike here. extra time here. Yep. He's shaking his head. It was in the area, but not the right roll. The end-over-end roll, watch it here, will create the deflection at the pocket. Now watch this ball jump to the right-hand side of your screen and take the 3-pin straight back. 6-pin goes to the channel there and dies. Second last pin that went down was the 8-pin. That would have been devastating.
Spare it up, and he'll have 88 in the fourth. To Nick's 67, both on spares.
Well, so far in this match, Jen, David Callery shot 3 10-pins, and he's had 2 strikes. That means he's keeping the ball in play, and sometimes that's all it takes to win.
Right.
5-step finger grip is what you're looking at, full fingertip for David Callery. Primarily uses urethane equipment, and that's what you see in his hand today. Black hammer ball. You've seen him throwing that blue hammer ball before. Doing well. There you get a good look at it. There you go, David. That's the shot you want. Well, now his opponent, Nick Vogelgesang, steps up on the right lane number 10 here at Holly. And he knows what his job is going to be, and that's he's got to throw X's.
Very difficult spare he's left himself to.
Cutting the ball off short, not staying down and getting that good wrist and snap and follow through that he's been striking with. Actually getting a break, Jen, only leaving the 3-9. There you see it. You want to throw the ball just to the right of center. There you go. That's textbook right there. This ball just completely gets away from him, and with the big hook and the turn, it's going to show you something here on the replay you don't see every day. And that's the 3-pin. Going to take it straight through and cut through. Look at that ball. Fitting straight between the 1 and the 6-pin, leaving the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. That's something you see every day?
At least. Very difficult to pick up, too.
Boy, that's a tough shot. I tell you what, on top of a bad count, only getting 5 and then coming back and opening up 2, and your opponent has gotten a minimal count of 9 so far, you know you're going to be in trouble. And the car once again gets rolled back into the garage. Not this week for Walt Sweeney and that Thunderbird.
But we thank him anyhow for coming out and bringing the car to us.
You bet. Yep. That's it. That just about puts it away for Dave Callery. Watch it on the replay. Again, we're talking about it. He's not covering a lot of boards. He's going straight down the board. Just a little bit of arc. Okay, 1-3 filled up. Deflects a little bit, but the 6-pin, hiya, out of here. 10-pin, you are history. And Nick Vogelgesang's got a little bit of paper left, but Dave Callery, I mean, the ceiling would have to fall in on him at this point.
Partridge Meats now is a new sponsor of ours, along with Hudipole and Pepsi and all the local pro shops. It's out of here.
Yeah, it's out of here. We switched away real quick there, but what you missed was the messenger pin kind of rolling across and gave a little tap on the 10 and sent him home early. And unfortunately, Nick's going to go home a little early today, probably. But you never know. You want to fill frames up. He's still got a potential 198 game up there. David Callery would have to open in both the 9th and 10th frames with bad counts to let him back in the match. But Nick can do something about it if he continues to strike. There you go. In a must-strike situation, Nick Vogelgesang throws a great shot. and he just absolutely generates a super shot, 10 pins in the pit. He said, yeah, no problem. I can do that anytime I want. Dave Callery, right lane. Yeah, see, there's another guy. Don't take all this stuff serious. The money's good, and it's a big tournament, but the game is built around friendly competition, and that's what you're seeing today.
You got it. We'd like to make an invite to all of you out there to come out and see the show being taped at Hyde's Lanes on March 18th. You can take a chance on winning the 14K Golden Bowling Ball and also winning lots of cash.
There you see the score sheet spelled it out, 60 pins advantage. David Callery, left lane, is going to finish out here. It's really immaterial at this point.
Not going to quite make it the 100-pin win that he had last week.
Almost. Yeah, last week, 100 and some pin win. This week, less than that, but still a convincing win. Dave Callery is establishing himself as a major player here on the show this year, Jen, repeating once again. And he says the plaques are starting to mount up, and so's the checking account.
Of course, I think he will have a chance to go on, not get our top 10 in a row win. That was by Dave Newkirk. But he can threaten Don Scudder at his 7-win victory with a couple more wins. This will make it number 5 for him.
Yeah, it's coming up. Nick Vogelgesang just wants to finish out. Get out of here. Opens up, but it really didn't make any difference. Nick Vogelgesang cannot dethrone David Callery either. He is our king once more. And we'll be back in just a few minutes for the presentation of the checks and the plaque. Just a moment, hang on. Welcome back for the presentations here at Holly Lanes. And Glenn Schmidt, this is your house. You've done a fabulous job with the place. Congratulations on it. And Nick took you to the wall last week here, shooting a 300 game. Does a proprietor like to see big scores like that generally?
Yeah, Dave, we like to see the good scores shot. I think that, everyone wants to be up there and do that good score thing, and it's not done very often, so we're very proud that it was done here at Holly Lanes.
Well, that's great. Congratulations. And Nick, congratulations to you for shooting the big game. Another 300 ring for your trophy collection. And for your fine performance today on the show, $375 for you. You ran into another buzzsaw, though, in David Callery. David, you're the story about town right now. You're on a roll here. $750 and a plaque from Carl's Bowler's Paddock. I'd like to present that to you on behalf of the BPA. And just wanted to ask you, why do you think you're doing so well recently?
Well, I've just been playing a conservative game. The young guys that hook the ball a lot, like Nick, they run into problems now and then and catch an open frame. If I can catch a double, there's more pressure on making good shots. And that happened today, so I was fortunate.
Well, your record indicates that you make a lot of good shots a lot of the time, and we're going to be making some good shots here on Channel 5 at about 4 o'clock, so you all stay tuned, keep the dial right where it is, because the St. Patty's Day Parade's be coming your way. We gave out a little green today. You'll be having a little bit more green later on. Jen, we're going to have our compatriot back next week. Tom Brenneman will be back with us. I'm sure the 3 amigos, as they call us, will be all right. So we look forward to seeing you guys back here, and we will be back 1 week from today. Thank you.